my mind. No, sir. All right, y'all.
Oh man, I'm mad you ain't catch him live on
that. Yeah. Welcome to the company. Welcome everybody coming in. Have a seat. Talk with us for a little while. We are the company. We do this every week, every Thursday, and welcome in. Have a seat. Today is November 7th. What did he leave for? Okay.
Oh, he just said I don't want to do it.
He just bounced. He just bounced out.
I'm good. I'm good, y'all.
Okay. So today is November 7th, 2024, and we are here on a Thursday to keep you company and talk about some things that have been going on. Hope everybody's having an amazing week.
Huh?
Yeah.
An amazing what?
What?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Monday started off great. Tuesday went to shit.
Yeah. Don't want to ignore the elephant in the room. We do have a new president.
Elect.
Well, that's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
That's just not who you wanted.
Yeah, we know. And truth of the matter is there is still a big stigma against letting a woman run the United States, probably. Maybe.
Brian, I'm happy you said that. Because people said the color part, I think that was just seasoning on it. I think it's the woman part was bigger than either the black.
Yeah.
Personally.
2 for 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Got 2 X's. That was too much.
Yeah, so unfortunately, well, however you want to look at it, Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. Elect until Inauguration Day. And then all hell will break loose.
It's starting to break loose now.
Yeah, we got the text messages being sent around the kids saying pick your slavery class or whatever it is.
So that really is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how they're getting the numbers or how they're pinpointing the people that they're sending the messages to, but it is a thing. So it's just one of the things that we're gonna have to deal with over the next few years, on top of everything else that's gonna go to shit. But it is where we are. I know you had some things you wanted to share about the election or what your thoughts on how things went and how we ended up here.
Ask me, Bob, real quick. I gotta sneeze and blow my nose.
All right. Sneeze and blow your nose, brother. This is a free country for now.
For now.
For now. like it's gonna get taken away, huh? Like,
I don't know, man. There is cause for alarm and concern. Not because of anything that he could do, but the things that his people that follow him devotedly can do. Devotedly? I don't know the word.
Good enough.
I don't know what the word is. Yeah, so that's just one of the things that we're gonna have to deal with is gonna be his people. I know he said his first day he's gonna have the largest mass deportation in history, but we don't really know who he's getting rid of. Like, is it just Mexicans and brown people, or are there going to be some of the fairer skinned people being deported as well?
I don't know, but they're apparently they're gonna be really bad guys. So that what you do know.
They're really bad guys.
Really bad guys.
Yeah. So
fuck, man, it was so much fun making fun. Now this shit is real.
Now it's real, and it's like, holy shit! All this stuff we were talking about might be a real thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You good, Izzo? You got it all out? Okay.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But you had some opinions and some thoughts about everything that happened with the election. Go ahead and share it with us, and we can build off that.
First of all, I think America get what it deserves. We're a nation that
Oh,
think we live in this cocoon to where we're not part of the world stage. We're not this. We're not affected by anything else. But the truth of the matter is, this glorious nation that they think is so glorious, and I got this and I got that. We're not. We're a very poorly educated country. That's what it goes down to. Very poorly educated. I don't know if I put in the chat, but like a quick example, like a lot of people don't understand what the terrorist things are. A lot of people are voting on things they hear somebody say on a Fox News or whatever. They don't get the totality of the thing because they don't want them to know. Y'all understand how the terrorists work, right? Y'all know who pays it, right? Just real quick, who pays it? Just like if you don't know, it's fine. Ain't no lesson here. Like who pays the terrorists if the terrorists happen?
oh, I
The
don't know.
country shipping in the goods, right?
No, that's
Who?
what a lot of people don't know. This is what makes it confusing. Yeah, it wasn't a trick. It was a trick question, but it's to teach people. The companies do. The American companies do.
Okay.
That's the thing. Even Mitch McConnell came out and said, like, I don't like this idea. Don't understand why he's doing it. There's something behind that. I don't understand why. But the companies do. So where the inflation started to kick up and the quote unquote people thought was just true price gouging kicked up, it was because of Trump. Those tariffs they started implementing, prices went up on the imported goods because those companies had to pay for it. These are the things people don't pay attention to. We don't read. We're not enlightened. And like, I think people are really going to understand. And this is about to get, not say graphic, but it's going to be real.
I do. It's to the point where I gotta laugh at our pain because that's the only way to keep me sane. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm gonna say, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say it's like that end user agreement that pops up on phone or whatever. Like people just ain't gonna read it.
They don't. They don't.
Let's go straight to the bottom. Say okay, and all right, I'm out of there.
Yep.
Don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
I think a lot of people are gonna find out they use a nigga too. Am I right or wrong?
You might be right.
A lot of this stuff that they voted for, they were fear mongered to think it's about color, it's about other. And it's not. They got the poor educated to vote for them at a highest number, damn near ever, because they played that game. Because they know these people aren't gonna go Google this stuff. We're gonna put a battery in their back just because we know they're not going to pay attention to what's really going on. And what's funny is they're stealing from their back door at the end of the day. The healthcare that they probably don't get from a certain job or not as good healthcare that they can get from the ACA, aka Obamacare. Not to say it will be gone, but they're going to try to come for that. Like all these things that would benefit no matter what color, they voted against. Yeah. Last time I checked, white women get pregnant too. So that too.
At a high rate.
At a high rate. So I'm just very confused. I'm very confused. I take that back. I'm not shocked, but still confused at the same time.
Yeah.
I say we get what we deserve. The lack of education is why we're in the predicament we are now.
Yeah. Well, we had some comments here that I'm just seeing.
Yeah, they just popped up on my end. That's weird. Yeah, they just shot through.
It was actually on me because I have to change the
okay. I just started seeing it because I love to see what people are saying.
Ernest says, including the loss of regulations and guidelines, which in turn affected the supply and kept prices high too. Yeah. So who gets to determine they are bad? Are they convicts? So you're talking about the people that we're doing the mass deportation on.
Yeah, and I'm sharing links too. You know, I'm sharing links. We got.
Yeah, I was sharing links out to people too.
I'm sharing it in the chat. Make sure you check. You gotta see these things off. I gotta get this stuff off the chest.
The deregulation one is what get me real quick as well. And them playing with the EPA thing, and I'm like, guys, I've watched a couple documentaries of how cities or small towns dealt with like either nuclear waste or things like that, and it seeps into the system, and kids were dying because they were too young to fight off stuff and getting cancer. You know, the loss of regulation, a lot of that stuff, they can just do whatever they want. There's no buffer to slow these processes down. They can just bury whatever they want. They can let out emissions into the air. But but it doesn't matter. It's not gonna happen to me. Shit.
Yeah.
If you live in a rural area, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be closer to you than it's gonna be to me in a non-rural area. So
yeah. And I hear a lot of people saying, you know, most of the great civilizations only lasted 250 years. And what are we, 248 years in? So this is probably it.
Hey.
But it's right there staring at you.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate you. But man, but I still want to tap dance for you, boss. That's kind of how I feel about the situation with people.
It's sad. I think it's very sad that we put ourselves back in this situation. And I know some of the people purposely know, or you know, they know what they're doing. But I just think most of the people that voted that way, like you said, didn't read or didn't pay attention or don't really understand the ramifications of their actions. And we are going to find out.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. The epitome of it.
It's going to touch everybody, y'all. People think they're immune to it because of the hue of their skin, or that they're a straight person, or that like, oh, these people don't live in my neighborhood. It don't bother me. Shit.
Yeah, it's like it's again. I gotta laugh at the pain just to get through it, but it's mind-boggling because some of these people will hear what he says and the things that he's saying, and then they think, "Oh, he didn't mean that." It's people that really said that. He said, "Oh, that's not what he meant." But what the fuck you mean?
Like,
I'm sorry, excuse my language.
Obama wore a tan suit and y'all about damn combust, but this man says damn near fuck everything moved. Y'all like, he didn't mean that.
Y'all twisting his words. Y'all twisting his words.
I did. He said it.
No. And the thing about this, some of the stuff that he said, you like grabbing the woman by the you know what back in the day. If VP Harris said the equivalent of that,
she's vile.
Can we imagine? Yes,
she's a whore. Well, they've already called her a whore. So
yeah,
and she ain't did nothing but be successful in every job she's had.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't find anything. They couldn't really find anything to hang against her, so they just went with the old women trope things,
which is sad.
Yeah,
pissing me off that women fall for it too.
And then I forgot who put it in the chat what Nikki Haley said about how she used to concede. Yeah, I'm like, well, did Trump concede when Biden won?
Dude, I'm just at a loss. It's like short-term memory, and when they get checked by a media member who normally is non-biased, they overtalk them and switch the subject, and I'm like,
bro.
Simple-minded people don't ever catch that.
Did JD say in his debate? I thought we weren't fact checking.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I just like I said, you just have to laugh at how. Just gotta laugh your way through this.
Yo, Idiocracy ain't got shit on America 2024. Ain't got shit on it.
2025 could be worse.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying in general. Oh yeah, I'm saying. Oh yeah, all that. The next four year, yeah, all that, and whatever happens after that, if they end up being a Democrat in office, I'm like, their cleanup is going to be hell, and you know the same old thing. Oh man, they sucked. I'm like, they cleaned up your shit. It's like you shit on the wall, and you walk in like you did the shit on the wall, then you walk in 5 minutes later, the janitor's like, oh man, why you dirtied up this place? No, nigga, you did it. I'm trying to clean it up. It's the equivalent of what happens every time Republicans get in office. Like Democrat comes in, saves the economy, boosts this, boosts that. And then it's like, no, you didn't do anything.
I don't really know what to say about this whole thing. It's just, it's damning.
It makes you speechless.
Yeah,
it does.
Rob said, then it still stinks. You got to bleach it 2 times.
Exactly. And they still coming back in saying you dirtied up the place, even though they did it. That's the equivalent.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got a long road ahead. The next 4 years are going to be trying.
Nobody cares your person scored. No, I'm just kidding.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, so I mean, this is one of those.
Actually, let me ask y'all this.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is kind of hindsight now, revisionist history. But do you think it would have been like a specific event that you would say you look back and like, okay, this is probably what helped push him to win the election? Can you think of something with it? I'm not saying the assassination attempt, but just could you look back and think of this something like in hindsight? Damn, if this didn't happen, maybe we might not have these results or something. Would you think of anything?
Something real small that I thought picked up steam towards the end was those stupid ass trans commercials.
Yeah.
I kept seeing that fucking point in comments and things that had nothing to do with that. Such and such trans, such and such trans. I would see comments online and it's like, for one, guys, the true story of the trans thing is that in California, like they're allowed to have like a change, like and it deals with people in prison or whatever, what they identify as. It's on the books. So her as the attorney general has to follow what's on the books to enforce if, like, say an institution doesn't like push it, like allow it or something like that. She's doing her job. How many lawyers are sitting in jail, sitting in court defending somebody we know shot the person? We got it on tape. We got 10,000 fucking views online. We got this. Yeah. We don't get look at
it. Hey, I had a previous life.
Still have to defend them.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, people are stupid. Stupid as shit. But of course, not many people look, because I looked it up. I'm like, I don't get why they're saying that. I mean, I know they blatantly lie, but this is a hellified one, and that's where they got it from. But yeah, they tried to throw kids in there. She ain't never said nothing about stuff with kids and transgender. Wait, now that was the bold-faced lie.
Oh yeah.
So you think?
Yeah.
So,
like, man,
to me, that picked up steam. I don't know if that. I think he was. Based on the popular vote and how many votes he still won by, I don't think he garnered that much more. But I think that made the gap bigger because that commercial was running all the time. Like, I remember watching it on TV and I started laughing like, the fuck was that?
Yeah. That was a head scratcher when it came out. I was like, y'all really just going to piece together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, they're just going to piece together words and generate AI to make it sound like it was her. Yeah.
Rob, if you still in the chat and I'm not white, and Rob, I appreciate you. You fight the fight and speak up when like it's needed. While unfortunately some don't. And this is a real question, and why does the white man get the benefit of the doubt every time when it comes to the stuff? Like, let's say they played it in a commercial, they go, that's probably not true. But with her, it's like I could just see the steam online pumping. It's like, oh, she did this, oh, she did that. And I'm like, I remember when I saw it on TV and you're running with it, but yet you didn't go see where the point came from, where something was misconstrued or like it was twisted or it's just a bold-faced lie. It's just like I kept seeing that over and over. I'm like, and that maybe it's him, he gets it, but I kind of saw that with a lot of politicians over the last 2 or 3 years. They get to cook.
Yeah.
But a woman or a person of color? Nope.
No. Let's see. Ernest says almost 20 something million didn't vote this time. That's versus true. 20. Dems only win with insanely high numbers. Yeah.
Do y'all think it's people thought like she had in the bag because he was so fucking insane this time?
That's where we went wrong last time, thinking we had it in the bag and didn't
16?
do anything.
16.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
That's a good question. I know there were some people I would say that definitely felt more confident. I won't say overly confident, but it felt more because I guess for me back in 16, I didn't realize how polarizing Hillary was to people.
Me either.
So I didn't know that. I didn't realize it until after the fact. I don't think it wasn't with VP Harris. It wasn't the issue because everyone thought Biden should step down, and so I think everyone it was easy to gather around with her, and so I think with the initial support that happened, I can only assume, and I hate using that word, but people felt more confident. Like, okay, well, we got into the bag. It's not going to happen. And then, well, here we are.
2016 taught me I'll never think that way ever again. I'm gonna have my black ass in that fucking damn poll place early. Normally now, that's where I'm going. Exactly. Went right after the gym, got in and out in 30 minutes, and I was happy to see that many people in line. But for most of us, and where Mobile live too, like we are in this cocoon of blue for the most part. So and hell, you too. Charleston is blue right now. So it's like we're kind of like in a world where it's like, yeah, we don't see it. I wouldn't expect that. Yeah. Like up here is like 60-something%, over 60% in this county voted for Harris.
Yeah.
Like Trump ain't really getting numbers like that in a lot of counties. So here is very liberal, and Charleston's very liberal. Orangeburg very liberal. Well, to an extent, it's black people. I don't know if those old black people liberal or not, but they vote Democrat.
It's like Talcott is red, but then you got about two out of the top 3 biggest cities and a couple other ones are blue.
Yeah. So, the problem is the rest of the counties that are blue are like deep black counties.
Yeah.
If you look at it,
like
the rest of it, Hampton, I know was one. And going towards like someplace in the PD, I forgot which county, but it's weird, man. It's funny. It's like, that's why I say, man, if you know people who look other than yourself, you understand we all the same. When you hear all the myths and the conspiracy theories about the other, this is what you get. This is what you get.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. Rob answered your question. He said it's hard to explain privilege until you actually see it. Most people don't even know they have it, which is why they get away with everything. It said disillusionment with candidates. And
you live in Hampton?
She lives in Hampton.
Yeah, I love to look at those maps after the election. She was screwed from the start. I actually think that played a part too, guys.
So
I actually do. It felt like, but you kind of need. Well, go ahead, Mobile.
No, because I know I was having a conversation with I think my mother about it. Like, yes and no. Don't get me wrong. She came a long way in the 2 months that she had actual campaign. But to say that I wouldn't put that solely on her. I'll put that on Joe Biden again. Because this is the second time. I'm gonna say this is the second time he done fucked this up. First time he didn't go on and when Hillary lost.
Yeah.
That was
perfect time for him.
His time to do it. But he said no, he wants to grieve. I am not stopping you from grieving, brother. But you had an opportunity, a perfect opportunity to run the country then. Because nobody believed in the guy. But again, people don't believe in a woman being able to run the country. That's why Hillary lost. What happens again in 2024? The same fucking thing. Only thing is Biden stepped down legit 100 days before. Like, bruh, if he made his mind up, if you gave her a year,
exactly, man.
Do I think it would it have helped? Yes. It would have helped. Would the outcome have been the same? Yes, it would have still been the same. Because again, these people don't think a woman can run the country, which is stupid to me. Because to be honest with you, this is the second time he's won over 2 people who are very well qualified,
overqualified.
Let's not. I cannot. Just not bring that to attention.
If you would burn the other application if that person walked in your office for a job, I guess a rap. Oh, throw these shred that.
Oh,
shred
man.
that, Jay.
And Izzo, you talk about application. Let's think about this too. We've got somebody that has no political background,
None.
who's also a felon.
Absolutely, 34 times.
I mean,
and now you run the country again.
He wasn't a felon until he actually got in office.
a week before he was supposed to go to court for said felonies. Because I think he was supposed to go to court.
He said, all right, fuck the law.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to go to court Friday or sometime next week. But now that's not going to happen because they've already said that presidents are whatever.
Yeah, they're immune, which I
Supreme
really
Court,
hope. Yep. I really hope there's some sort of amendment, addendum, whatever it is, for the next, because like that by itself should really change democracy. Like come on, man. If you and I got a image that I could share. Like, you got to take this felon stuff off of applications if you got the fucking president of the fucking United States being a felon and be able to get a job.
Boy, you just nailed the landing.
That's the biggest fucking job in the fucking world.
Thank you.
And you gonna tell me that you could be a felon and still hold office? Doesn't make sense. Just doesn't at all.
We could do that. Put him on a probationary
let a black guy be a felon.
Huh?
I said let a black person be a felon.
Oh, his
want us to be a fraud.
His campaign would have been stopped a long time ago if it was
exactly. The moment he goes to drop off his application, whatever you gotta do, or whatever it is, it's like, you can leave.
All right, welcome into Rich is joining us.
We gotta let Rich have the floor for a while to get his cooking in because we about 30 minutes on this topic.
I am so sorry. I was busy. I was busy doing stuff.
Oh wow!
Oh no,
make another child. I got it.
No. You
made it sound risque.
I feel so underdressed, Rich over here with a suit and tie on.
Nah.
No, I got my suit and tie.
Take care of business, man. That's all it was.
Taking care of business
every day.
So what we were doing, Rich, did anyone see footage of Trump voting? No, I didn't see it. Rich,
with his fake Melania? That's why y'all said that?
Does it matter?
We were just giving our opinion on the election and the results and everything, Rich. If you had anything you wanted to get out.
I don't know what y'all are. I don't know what y'all already said, so that's half the problem. But
I mean, it'll be your thoughts. So
yeah, sure. So, man, there's a lot to unpack with this.
Go ahead.
We all go in, or you can keep it short.
I mean, I'll give me a couple minutes. So I'll say this, right? I am not surprised by the result, to be honest. This basically shows where we really are more than anything else. I mean, you have a convicted felon who honestly probably ran against two people who might have been the most qualified people to run for president. One of which actually was a president's wife and served as a senator. The other literally served in all three branches of government.
Bro, she was Hillary was,
I know, she was a senator, but then and Secretary of State. Correct. Yes. Bro, so and again, Kamala Harris probably, I would say, honestly supersedes her because of her track record. Because I mean, she literally served in all three branches of government. So I have a hard time processing where. And this gets into a lot of things, right? Because we're not only talking about just the response to the election and then also the caliber of people he was running against, but so much of this also plays into, the concept of rule of law and the concept of how, we are told that, doing the right thing and being able to have credentials that mean something, and yet you get bested by someone who is practically a con man. I don't say that not because I don't like the guy's policies, but literally he has defrauded people millions of dollars, and it's documented
repeatedly.
And yet we still have this kind of result. So I don't have much else to say other than, we really have to think about how we look at politics now, because these last, I'd say 12 years have, and I'm including Joe Biden's election in that too, because it was pretty much, we have looked at politics or the presidential election. Let me say politics in general, but presidential election, we have looked at it as a sporting event, even how it is covered. We look at it as like, who's going to get across the finish line first? This is not a damn race. You're talking about the policies and procedures of how this country is governed. We are not talking about, who's going to win best in show.
Yeah.
These are, I hate to say it, I'm ready for politics to get back to where you didn't give a shit who was going up for what.
Thank you.
I am ready for it to become boring and mundane because because the fact that we are in a place where it is an ideological fight for every single thing that a person talks about. Like, you can have a difference of opinion, but it doesn't have to be a fight about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be this knockdown, drag out thing. And what it all comes down to is that you believe it in your heart. It is a personal value statement is what all this comes from, not an intellectual one. And I think that is probably where the biggest issue is. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say this even about Kamala Harris's campaign. The reality is that she didn't talk to the working class people, which is why all those counties and cities failed her in the election. Like, if you look at how the voting turnout was, all of those places that were blue collar workers, they flipped. And there is a reason why. At the end of the day, this is the takeaway. Your message didn't resonate to a large population of America, and you need to figure out as to why. Voting turnout was also less because, we had the highest turnout ever in 2020, and now it's shifted back to pre-COVID days. Why did that happen? No one cared. Like, that is ultimately what this comes down to. It was a sporting event. People didn't feel like being a fan and decided, you know what, I'm gonna stay home. So if we really want to get a handle on this, it needs to become less of an emotional thing and more of a civil responsibility, civil understanding of how we actually move things.
Can we get back to that though? I mean, I think we may be too far gone.
I don't think we.
Well,
I feel like they've pushed me to be emotional now.
I think that's a product of Trump being involved. He has brought out all these emotions and made it very open to have these feelings publicly again. So maybe.
And you know what, man? In talking about Trump, right? I'll be honest, because I think I posted this in the chat. That time where Obama roasted Trump at the Correspondence Center, I have to give it to him. That is the GOAT level. I will show you if there ever has been one in history, because the man was ridiculed at a Correspondence Dinner and won the election for the House, for the seat that he was trying to get twice. You can't deny that. And that is something that we are going to study from now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are going to be classes on this shit. It's just that how great of a snake oil salesman can you be?
Ooh.
Because this makes absolutely no sense. Because even based on, and you know what, the fact that most of his policies are going to wind up hurting the people that voted for him is something that's going to be very interesting to see where the discourse is around that, because prices are going to go up for things. Especially because if you're talking about putting tariffs on anything that's exported, imported, put tariffs on anything that's imported, right? you know, those companies don't care. They're like, oh, okay, you want to increase this 10%? We're gonna raise the price 15. Cool, not a problem.
See, exactly what we said that at the very top of the show. Thank you for reiterating it.
That will not be a problem. They be oh, okay.
That is more money in my pockets. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pocket. You know, they're gonna flex on us. So I mean, I just it's not a I'm not all doom and gloom. You know, I'll just be honest with you. I'm really not. I think that I'm not all doom and gloom because of where we are today. Now, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, different story. But what if the DNC wants to get a handle on this? And I'm not saying I'm some lifelong Democrat or whatever, right? I'm just saying from a oppositional strategic standpoint, if they want to get a handle on this, they need to start planning. Like, lick your wounds this month,
correct,
and then you start.
They gotta hit the ground running hard
because midterms they can basically stop anything because I mean that's what happened. I mean, to be honest, was that with Obama, right? Like
absolutely
after midterms because you know, again in 2008 everybody showed up and showed out, and then in 2010 what happened? Stopped everything he could do.
Absolutely.
So they could do the same thing could basically happen here. But you know, again, you know, folks need to have a rude awakening as to what this means and understand what, you know, his side of the aisle is trying to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure if anything else I say, I'm probably reiterating all of your points. I think
you might have said it clear because my emotions were running high.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, am I surprised? No. Frustrated, yes.
Yep.
Frustrated, yes. Surprised.
Yeah. Well, we all want this country to be in a certain place. Nobody wants this country to fail on either side of the aisle. But it just seems like we're trading in celebrity for context.
Right.
So that is going to that's going to make us fail. That's going to make us fail. The golden cow.
But let's face it, like even to the point where, and I am not knocking this, right? Because we're talking about celebrity on his side, right? But let's look at the other side too. They had Beyonce speaking before Kamala Harris shows up. Like you use Hollywood as a platform to show the like, oh, we're the cool kids and this is the way it should be. Nah, like okay, but does that resonate? Does that resonate at the end of the day when you have to literally choose between the cost of a gallon of gas and a gallon of milk?
To me, real quick, I think it works even less because, of course, Democrats normally garner more diverse people, more educated people. I think that actually works less with a liberal person. To me,
what, bringing Beyonce up like that?
Like just bringing celebrities in general.
Yeah,
like I like the look; it's fine, but I don't know if it gives that push that people really think it would.
It is a shiny toy.
Yeah, and guess what happened to all shiny toys? They end up in the corner
or the junkyard.
Yeah, but like you said, I'm yearning for the days when it was just like two people renting that I didn't give a shit about, and you could vote either way, and your life would change.
I remember there was a Robot Chicken sketch, and it was talking about Mitch McConnell, and it was just explaining like simply how boring he was, because all he was just mumbling, and his little like the waddle of his neck was just like shaking around, and it's like, can we just get to that, like to where you just
we might be too far gone, man. We might be too far gone.
We may be, but I think there is like I deal in data all the time, right? And part of the problem is that you cannot emotionally have people connect to numbers. You connect them to a story that uses the numbers to tell it. There's no way that you're going to be able to do it by just simply throwing up charts and being like, hey, well, this is Trump's plan. No, that's not going to work. the only way that this is going to work is you have to tell a story in a way that people are able to understand it, and you can use those facts and details as the supporting parts of the argument. But you cannot just straight up go ahead and be like, "Oh, these are the charts, and this is how this works." No, we're too far gone from that.
Yep, you gotta explain it to them like they're 5.
And maybe that's why I work for that side, because that motherfucker act like he's 5. So I mean, not even be like cracking as a joke, but it's so dumbed down on that side.
You gotta laugh at your pain. Man.
Honestly, it doesn't even make a point, but it gets to where either they laugh and it feels lighthearted, even though it's so serious you're saying, and just the familiarity they have with him. I think a lot of clueless people voted that way too because it's a name that they recognize. I think that's understated too.
No. I think there's that part of it. Like just simply put, the fact that he was able to speak in a way where it didn't sound highbrow. And I'm not trying to say like people, because I do not want to blanket like an entire side of people. Because there are some dumb people on that side of the aisle. There are some people who have some extreme ideas on the left too.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
But the reality is that they were told things in a way to where they could simply understand it. The man got on the debate stage and told them, "I have a concept of a plan," and they were okay with that.
That broke my back. That broke my back.
They were, but
that ain't the first time he's done that. Just tripped over and shit like that.
But I mean, that wasn't a trip. He was honest, and he has maintained that, and again, that's why. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I have a question to ask. It's funny, but yet serious. Everybody's either in a relationship or been in a relationship. We're grown. We 40 something. If your woman asks you, "Do you want to marry me?" at some point, and you go, "I don't know," will that woman, all of us date black women or have dated black women, will that woman be with you within the next 30 days?
Probably not if you give it like that. I don't know. I want to do something similar to marriage, but I don't know if it's marriage.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably a no.
And they went with that like a concept of a plan, a concept. And remember that debate was one of the highest rated debates, based on numbers, because of course pure viewership back in the day would have been higher because more people watch TV. They didn't have as many distractions. But based on like current numbers, if you would break it down, it was like the highest rated debate that they've had in the eons. So, like I said, I'm at a loss. Idiocracy ain't got shit on 2024.
If you go through all of the speeches and whatever he had, you really got to question what the hell were these people holding on to?
Hope. What you mean?
Hope.
I guess.
Really quick, so I'm understanding what people like holding on to what? What you mean? His
like
words,
the things that the things he said, the words he said, held no value.
Oh, none. I got you.
Ever. So what are these people holding on to? Is it just the fact that it was a female on the other aisle? On the other side of the aisle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Women don't trust women. Not in that sense. Certain women don't think women will be in power. It's a thing. And I didn't realize the thing until talking to women. Not that they agree with it for themselves, but they've been around women like that. And I go, whoa, I didn't think that was a thing. I thought all women about women empowerment. That is a lie.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book I'm reading right now called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And I've only gotten through like maybe the first third of it. But one of the things that very early on, they talk about how money is not a numbers game. How our relationship with money is not a numbers game. It is strictly emotional. Not strictly, but for the most part, it's emotional. And it comes from several factors like your upbringing, what you're taught, what your risk tolerance is, so on and so forth. And I'm sure this probably would not surprise you, but the greatest demographic that buys lottery tickets are the lowest income earners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spend about roughly $400 a year on lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Mind you,
not surprised.
Mind you, those same people cannot, if you told them I need $400 for an emergency, could not provide it at any point. So the way that the author explained it, he's like, but here's the way you have to think about it, because not in the title to some effect was like, not everybody's, like it said, like not everybody's crazy, right? Especially with money. And what his explanation was is that understand it from their perspective. They cannot move forward because of their economic status, because of their skill set, because of their circumstances. And this one low cost way provides an opportunity for me to get out. The life that these people that I look at have is the one that I want.
Yeah.
Like your life is the one that I want. And this is my ticket out of here. So to them, that risk tolerance for how they spend that ultimately gives them at least some inkling of that is an investment that they're willing to take, even though it's a 1 in a million shot. So I say that because in that same way, how people vote, it's a very similar thing. It's like, clearly this man has no idea of, like, he's basically been, he's got a silver spoon in his mouth, right? And has all the way up through most of his life. And the idea, and I'm not saying, again, is not, I'm not making this, I'm not making this gross generalization, but at the end of the day, here's where we stand with it, right? Is that these people hope that what this man is going to provide is going to give them a ticket out. As bullshit as it may seem, that's what they see. And the message that the Democrats had did not align with that. It's like, you're just going to give me the same thing that I've already got.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side, it was, I'm going to give you something better. I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be better than what they've got.
But you know what? A good ticket that will actually help them out more is something that they laugh at. They call soft. They say it's highbrow. They even say like it makes them a pansy or a pussy. Is education. And many of the voters on that side scoff at it, which is mind-boggling.
But let's also let's think about that too, right? Education for most of us comes at a high cost. I mean, and you like,
honestly, you could Google and get a lot of stuff too. I mean, not to say it's just purely sitting your ass in class. Like, it's so many ways.
But let's be honest. But any sort of credential that you might need, like like for example, like my project management certification, right?
Yeah,
like that cost me like roughly $1,000, and I just said that the lowest income earners can't spend $400 on just the things that they need in the sake of an emergency.
Emergency funds don't exist.
Right. This is an extracurricular activity as far as they are concerned. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Education and like YouTube University is honest. Like there are so many things.
You exactly what I mean. Yeah.
There are so many things that, like, I have taken my entire car apart because someone has, like, just out of the goodness of their heart, provided a how-to on how to do said thing.
Yeah, just like Saturday night, I asked you a question. I knew Rich would know.
Right. So I mean, but all of these things are there, but then to be credentialed in doing that thing, and then to have the practice where you can actually go out and make money on it, that takes time. And time, often with some sort of trade or craft, you have to have mistakes built, and those mistakes cost money. So it's not, I'm not saying, like, Izzo, to your point, I absolutely agree. Yeah, like education is
I just wonder if that's the risk some of those people take, because they take risks that honestly accumulate to be just as much or more. That's what I'm kind of
think about how we eat. Like, think about how we eat. Like, for a fact that if you cook your meal at home with higher quality ingredients, is better than going to Wendy's and getting that 5 for $5, right? But it's so much faster. I don't have to think about it.
Yep.
It hits for the moment, and then
it does.
And then 10 years later, when you are like wondering what happened to the size 32 pants that you couldn't wear, now you're in 44. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
And it's like these are small things that happen
Convenience.
over time.
Convenience
Right.
happen.
Sake of convenience.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So none of what the outcome of any of this surprise. I am frustrated. And I think I said this in the chat. Like, you slowly understand, like I have gushed over Transformers 1 because that has like been like the greatest Transformers film of all time. But like
Very
watching,
low bar, but yes.
yeah, fair enough. But still, like, but you watch that film and you understand why somebody could be a part of a system, get swindled by that system, and then decides to take it into their own hands. Like, and then how like the hope is just drawn away from them in the process of that relationship. It's just,
you have this false hope that you were believing, and then it's hit to you the reality of it's like,
oh, this ain't going. This is not how this works.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's just the frustration of it all. It's just you look at it, you're like, we can do better than this. Like, we honestly can. But the thing is, I think all of us, I don't say all of us, I think a lot of us are looking for that cheeseburger. None of us want to take the time to learn how to cook steak.
Medium, also.
Medium, no A1, huh?
Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. You're right.
That's right. But yeah, again, Transformers 1 is a great movie. I agree with that too. Best Transformer movie. But
so
that's a great analogy, Rich. Perfect.
The next 4 years, are you guys? I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to ask here.
No.
Do you really feel like this is like not the end, but like, are we going to be suffering within the next 4 years?
I think to some degree, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the end. I'm not thinking that, but I do think there's going to be some negative setbacks from this. I mean, it just will be. I mean, if you can say a lot of negative things about Trump, and they're all true. One thing I will say, certain things that he says he wants to try to get done, he does try to do them. Now, whether or not they work, he wanted to build a wall, it didn't work.
Well, yeah.
And so he's going to try to say certain things to try to, to be a snake oil salesman, but he's going to try to do certain things. And so it's going to embolden people to, continue to embolden them to act a certain kind of way. And so there's going to be negative ramifications from this. Again, do I think it's going to be the end of the world? I mean, I hope not. I don't think so. But again, it's not going to be great by no means.
Yeah. Circumstances around it are not going to. I don't see it becoming better, but people have this false sense of hope that things will change for the better. I don't know. So yeah. So I guess I think I could really say I'm hopeless. I think that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm just hopeless. I don't have it. I just don't have any hope.
Okay. All right, Rich, what are you going to say?
We will be beaten by complacency. So I'm going to say it this way because we have seen how this works. So in 2008, we elected Barack Obama as president. In 2010, basically the midterms showed him that, you can't do any of this. So what I will say is that, sure, we can be hopeless, but the reality is that complacency was going to be the thing that kills us. So if you really sit and think about this, right? Like, what are the ways to get involved or to react or to respond? I'm not like some political analyst or whatever the case may be, right? But I will say that if there is an opportunity for us to educate and to challenge, if you will, this new status quo, I think that is what is going to have to happen, because otherwise, yes, we are going to have an interesting next couple of years.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa, minute. Whoa.
Fuck you, bro.
Right.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
So, I mean, so and that's
Show's over.
No.
Go Rich.
Yeah. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. Like, you know, I don't know if I have anything else to really add beyond that. It's more of a sure. Yeah, there, you know. Now, let me also say this, right? Because, you know, I live in North Carolina, and I was afraid that we were going to elect Uncle Ruckus's variant to the governor's seat. I sincerely was concerned. I'm not gonna lie. Once I found out that basically he was behind double digits at like 7:30, I'm not saying I didn't care anymore, but I was like, well, my night is done. I'm good.
But that directly affects you, and that kind of shows what people really got to remember as well.
And that's my point, is that while I certainly do think that the presidential election is a thing and it's something to en masse look at, the reality is that, or let's say the overturning of Roe v. Wade, right? That as an example. Roe v. Wade was overturned and the right for abortion was turned over to the states. Correct. Now, to that point, what does that mean? Is that your elected officials in your local elections now dictate how that goes. So what that also means is that if you engage in your local elections, now you have more power to change those rights in your own community. So again, I'm not necessarily saying like we should just disregard this completely, but if they're going to a matter of state rights or you know, something of that nature, truth of the matter is that we just need to become more like, I think, you know, as far as levels to all of this, your engagement needs to be really at your local level and then scale up from there. You know, the president, while they are the quote unquote leader of the free world, you know, your House and Senate seats, both state and federal, and also those city councilmen and your mayor and like the school board, all that stuff. Those are the ones you really need to be paying attention to, because those are the ones that are going to lock you up.
Real quick, I got to push back on what Predaking said. I think that is deeply false, what you just said. Nothing's changed through the last 5 presidents. We sitting through what
I literally just talked about Roe v. Wade. Like,
just doesn't affect you like necessarily pocket or things like that. Like, it has ripple effects. It has ripple effects to all our lives. Like, I could say something Obama did to help save my pockets, or me not being like having to have 2 jobs. It's like income-based repayment on my loans at the time. That's not something they ever did. Like, that was a ripple effect that helped me. Like, I saw the immediate like tax difference once like the budgets of Trump started to happen. I saw that off my paycheck. I saw that in my tax returns were damn near to the levels of what I was getting as a student at USC. Like, I saw it in my pocket. I saw it in the world. I deeply saw it.
I mean, all things, you know, all jokes aside,
I still got bills, but at the end of the day, my bills shouldn't shoot higher just because this man wants to make sure we get taxed to death, or he's allowing companies to falsely mark up things, that even if they're not dealing with tariffs, just because they can, and they getting tax break, so they're double dipping on how much money they make. It was affected by Trump.
I was even going to add, because you're talking about the last 5 presidents. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I bought my first house because of the Bush stimulus package. I mean, and then the people that the following year got $500 more and didn't have to pay it back. So, I mean,
it ain't been happening since we've been living, bro. But keep cooking. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, there are some significant things that have changed, you know, and I think this is the point that Izzo's trying to make. It may not affect you personally, but those things touch you in ways that you might not be realizing. And I think that still, you do have your federal level, but you also need to start looking at your state and local stuff because those things also cascade too.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback off that for a second because I think within this group we've been saying that for years now that the local elections matter, and for like I've said this before, for me, I started to really realize that too during COVID when you see how a certain governor handled that. So it's like
it has ripple effects.
Mhm.
It does.
Right.
So, and I agree with you, Rich. Like you said, obviously the presidential elections is always the low-hanging fruit. It's always going to be the big thing. But to really get the change that you want is to pay attention to your local elections. Who's going to be your solicitor? Who's going to be the mayor? Who's going to affect the day-to-day laws and your school, your education? So like we really are taking more notice of that now, especially with kids. You want to make sure that they're doing regulations that's going to properly teach your kids a certain kind of way. So,
Yep.
Like I said, there's a ripple effect with all of this. And so, again, is the presidential election important? Yes, it is. But it would be nice to see all the attention and all the lines for these elections to go for your local ones. So, in 2 years from now, let's see the same kind of. It'd be refreshing to see that. But will that happen? That's the thing, because still,
cheeseburgers
don't care.
I can push back a little further than the last 5 presidents. Talk to people about how Ronald Reagan affected them in the 80s.
Reparations.
All right, you know what?
Trickle down.
There's only one good thing that Ronald Reagan did that has affected all of us, and it was the removal of the ability to market directly market
to
toys
kids.
or directly to children. That has been probably one of the good things that we could say because we would not have. Because we have not had, I would say, we would not have any of the toy franchises that we know and love today because of that. That is, that's that's all I got to say about him.
Didn't care. Okay.
I don't get it, but okay. Well, what did Rob say? I was a baby then. Oh my God!
Rob says I will donate to the following campaigns: 50 for Mobile, 50 for Brian, 100 for Rich, 100 for Nick, 500 for Sosa, just because I look forward to it.
Izzo gets nothing, I guess.
Evidently, I get nothing.
Well. All right. Let's see. Mobile, you got anything for us tonight, or are we just going to
sure.
Let's get an unwind type situation here going on.
Hey, before Mobile pulls that up, let's just a quick note. The RIP for Quincy Jones.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, man. Quincy Jones passed away. Was that yesterday?
No.
Oh, you're right. I wouldn't run. You absolutely right. Because I'd slap somebody and they actually that might get me votes because people are stupid. They're like, "Oh, he's a strong man."
No, but Izzo, that you be too angry, and then
I'm black. I forgot.
Yeah,
you wouldn't win.
Never forget Izzo.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's see.
Kamala told me nothing.
All right, we're gonna get into Mobile's moment real quick here just before we end the show. Mobile's moment is a situation where we let him dictate what we talk about on the show real quick here, and it could be something food related or anything that he chooses or picks out. Today's Mobile's moment is pick 3.
Oh, I gotta make this bigger because I'm there it is.
Boss.
Whoa. Y'all stupid.
All right, so Mobile says pick 3. Number 1, new home, 3-car, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Number 2, new 2024 Cadillac of choice. Number 3, new job of choice with desired salary. Number 4, 10 million. Number 5, new home, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage. Number 6, new 2024 Dodge of choice. Number 7, 5 million plus 100 acres of land. Number 8, 1 million followers on TikTok. Number 9, 1.5 subscribers on YouTube. Number 10, 5 billion likes on Facebook. Number 11, perfect credit with all debt paid in full. I'm sorry. Number 12, new 2024 Chevrolet of choice. Number 13, 100 million split monthly over 40 years. Number 14, no taxes for the rest of your life. And number 15, no sickness for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So this is easy.
Yeah, because one helps the other. A couple helps the other.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to hear how people.
I'll pick number 4, number 7, and number 15.
No, I got number 4, number 11, number 14.
I got number 4. I got number 5 and number 11 because then the house is paid off and I still got 10 million.
Wait.
That debt is the debt. Ain't no debt.
How'd you
Hey, I'm sorry. If I can't make 10 million work for the rest of my life, if I can't make that work,
because I can flip that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10 million. Most people earn $1 million in their lifetime. So 10.
Yeah, you do.
If you govern yourself correctly, you'll be all right.
Yeah, the land. Honestly, because man, there's so much to keep up land. People forget about that part.
Yeah, but by the time you get number 4 and number 7, you got 15 mil.
Uncle Sam, talking to you then.
I'll pay. I'll deal with the
taxes. That's why I said no taxes.
But I'll deal with the taxes because I got no debt.
The only one I debated was 15 to go on the no sickness.
No sickness.
That's the only one that would be close. I would say that.
Yeah.
See,
100 million
but
over 40
but 15
years.
makes you an X-Men. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I mean,
13 sounds good.
You would be Deadpool.
13 sounds good, but who says we be here? You never know.
Yeah, but still, but let's say I'm saying okay. So me, I'm saying 11, 13, and 15. Because one, I don't want any debt, and then of course I get 100 million, and of course I let's say procreate and I have seeds, I could just leave that inheritance to them, and then on top of that, for the rest of my time, I can enjoy my life with them because I'm not going to get sick. So I'm cool with just.
Rich didn't pick number 6.
No, absolutely won't. No. Yeah. So it's funny because I would pick the same numbers that Brian actually picked.
Which one? Say that again. Which ones?
So it was Brian? 4, 7, and 15, right?
4, 7.
Let me explain to you my logic behind it, right?
Go ahead.
So with
a lot of taxes on that land, brother.
All right. Well, all right. Okay, that's fair.
Break it down for me.
At $10 million, right? Let's say for the next 30 years of your life, that would be roughly $333,000 per year. So, all right. So that takes care of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you invested that into a Roth IRA or some sort of retirement account, you could take that money and then obviously you'll be able to, by the time you are 59 and a half, be able to withdraw it and then you shouldn't really have any problems at that point, right? Now, that said, I would then go with 7 because with $5 million, right, that should be able to give you an additional cushion to be able to do whatever you want. But then with 100 acres of land, I mean, think about how many acres of land are used for any neighborhood or subdivision. With 100 acres of land, you have roughly.
I see where you're
going. I don't know. So you have roughly, I don't know. Let's say I'm remembering from the plot that I had on the house that I owned back in Columbia. That sat on 1/4 of an acre, right? If you took 50 acres, right, you could essentially build roughly 100 houses, easy, right?
Yeah,
and then be able to go ahead and build those, sell them, and then it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
you go off and people do their thing, but you have now recouped that. And then even if you wanted to say make 25 acres of that, I mean, I've seen them put townhouses in basically parking lots, and pretty much if you wanted to make those into condos, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then number 15, as I mentioned, you are now essentially, you have a healing factor. If at that point, really health insurance outside of you actually hurting yourself pretty much are going to be okay. Because any sort of, malignant type of disease you will not get.
What if you get ran over by a bus?
I said disease.
I know.
Yeah. Now I did say that outside of hurting yourself, you are right.
I know.
But no, you're right. So you still have to carry health insurance, but it's quite likely you won't need to use it. And then at the fact that you have invested that $10 million, and you have now essentially a property, you built a neighborhood and have recurring income. You can keep that deductible so high to the point where it really doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. And let's look at the 100 million split over 40 years. That's $208,333 a month.
Yeah, I'm tricking off. That's just me.
Not a bad deal.
That's just me.
It's not a bad deal.
No.
As long as you don't get hit by a bus, then you're good.
God damn, this bus. Fewer bus that's following us around in your
okay. Or that Dodge Charger.
Shit, there's a high likelihood that they'll hit you because these people drive crazy to them shits.
Oh, shit.
Around here, at least.
Yeah.
Around here, y'all.
I swear they need another driver's test just for people to get a Charger. I swear to God.
This is why I love and hate the existence of the Hellcat, because it has put so much horsepower in so many stupid people's hands. But yet it has put so much horsepower in a lot of people's hands. So it's like it's just catch-22.
Yeah.
Still love the car though. And to that point, like, why, if I have all of this recurring funds coming in, why do I need to use one of my numbers to get that car? I can buy 12 of them. It's cool. I buy every color of the wide body Hellcat just cause.
Just cause. Oh shit! I'm driving Monday on Wednesday. Oh well. See, my thing is I've always wanted a Challenger, but now I can't get a brand new Challenger anymore. So if I do get one, it's gonna be
it'll be the EV car, which is interesting. It's not the same.
It's gonna sound like a battery wind up.
But you know what? Now, have you actually heard the EV car? Like, it's got some interesting sound effects that come along with it, but it's not real, so it's weird.
Yeah, and it backs up. It goes for some goddamn reason. Yeah.
Oh man, I was at the dealership yesterday getting an inspection, and I don't even know what it was. It was some type of Volkswagen, SUV, and it was just the oddest thing when they take off. I'm like, it sounds like a fucking golf cart.
It has to make a noise.
Legally they have to make a noise, so people are aware it's around.
The noise isn't related to anything on the car. It has to make a noise.
So it's like speakers up underneath. Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. That and just natural road noise and.
But it makes that little weird humming, hissing noise.
Yeah. It's. I mean, but you know what? I as much of a big block V8 guy that I am, right? The reality is that engine noise is basically a byproduct of a waste. That's really it. It's the burning of chemicals shooting out the back of a car. That's really what we're listening to, and we have fine-tuned it to make it where it sounds like it's something. I mean, sure, we could argue that it's soulless with a EV, right? But the reality is, it's but it's more efficient because it doesn't waste any heat or noise or just produce or noise pollution.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the technology aspect of it, but I do hate the fact that it's the increase in speed will sound like
pussy.
Yeah, to your point, it is a what? Stop.
I heard it.
I heard it. Yeah. No,
hey, it was funny. It was an older black guy got to that vehicle.
Hey man, he might be tricking off as far as we're concerned.
I was shocked because we both waiting for our jumps to be finished. And I look, I'm like, that's what you got in. All right, player. Okay.
Hey man,
not my cup of tea, but okay.
All right. We all good? Anybody got anything you want to get off their chest? Any shotgun topics you want to say anything real quick here before we get up out of here?
No.
All right.
I'll
Well,
let it marinate some more, man.
this has been the company. We will be with you for the next 4 years talking about the drama that appears in the White House.
No, freedom of speech is gone. So shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure they're going to say, no, you can't talk about Trump like that. Anyway, we'll be back next week, next Thursday, with some more stuff on 9 o'clock. No, was it 9? Yeah, 9.
It's not.
9 o'clock. For Izzo, for Nick, for Mobile, for Rich, for me, B, Lenny, we thank you so much for allowing to keep you company. We'll be back next week. Peace. Mobile, sing a song.